Hello, it's Maryon Stewart, and I wanted to come on today and talk about your relationship difficulties and feeling overwhelmed. I feel very touched by your stories, and I feel very frustrated in a way, I suppose, because every time I see one of those stories, it just makes me feel it needn't be that way. It really needn't be that way. And I just want to reach out and help you to see how you can overcome your symptoms so that you can be your best self and not be suffering this way and have it cause the ripples that it tends to in our lives, whether it's in our personal lives, in our relationships, in our self-esteem, or even in the workplace, or all of them. It's just painful for me. I know it's even more painful for you because you're suffering with it, but it's painful for me because having been helping women for over 25 years go through menopause without taking hormones or drugs, doing it all naturally, doing it based on published science, I know that if we get the right balance, if we get the nutrients back into an optimum range, if we get the hormones back into an optimum range, and get your lifestyle round the right way, you can overcome the symptoms and be really seriously symptom-free. So not have any symptoms whatsoever, so that you don't have hot flushes and night sweats anymore, because we can fool the brain into thinking you've got normal circulating estrogen. We can get the nutrients back into an optimum range, those low levels of nutrients that so badly affect our brain chemistry and our hormone function. We can get them back into an optimum range so that your brain chemistry will work normally and it will send out the right messages. And you don't have to feel so bad. You don't have to feel depressed and fearful and anxious and panicky, tired and achy and lacking libido, and the joy for life just drains out of you. I know how it feels. It's like looking at the world through completely different colour lenses rather than seeing them through your own eyes. And that's just not, it's just not the way it should be. And I feel sorry. And in a way, I want to kind of apologise on behalf of the medical profession, because they're not doing you a service. They're not interpreting the published medical research and giving you the right information that you need to have at this stage in your life. And that really saddens me. And it's happening because they're not really learning about these medical papers that are published. I mean, and I'm talking about tens of thousands of medical papers over the years on this subject. And it's just not part of their curriculum. So you're left to fend for yourself, and that's really not right. And then you're faced with the internet these days, which has got so much conflicting information. There's so many people with vested interests on the internet who are trying to get you to buy their products or believe some line or another, or get you to try one thing in isolation. And I know from all the years of doing this that one thing isn't going to cut it. You've got to do a whole series of things. There are 5 tried and tested ways, so different aspects of making sure your diet's good, making sure you're not having things that are going to gobble nutrients in your diet and detract from progress, making sure you've got naturally occurring estrogen, that you're doing some exercise, relaxation, and that you know exactly which supplements to take that have been through properly conducted trials, that are safe, effective, and they're going to bring about the desired effect in your body. So it's learning all about that. And instead of going online, luckily you've got this group. You've got this group where you can come and get information that is tried and tested. It's scientifically based, and you can get it. It just takes the guesswork out of it, and you don't have to feel frustrated anymore. You don't have to feel afraid anymore. You don't have to feel threatened that your relationship's going to fall apart, because if you get back to feeling really good again, and even if you know that this is just a transition, this is not permanent, you are not going downhill, if your partner comes to understand that this is just a phase in your life and you need lots of support, and you both come to understand that this is a temporary situation, you will probably get support going through this. Because really probably what your partner wants is to get back the person that was in their lives in the beginning, and they just want to feel that they're loved, and they don't want to feel that you are going to be threatening their existence. And I think that's what happens sometimes. So you just need to communicate. You need to talk to your partner. You need to tell them that you feel vulnerable. You feel scared. You're afraid. You're not really attacking them. when you're verbally abusive and dismissive, or you don't want to be touched. It's that you don't feel well. This is a real condition that needs addressing at midlife. And when you address it, you're going to feel better than you can remember. And you need to get your partner on your side. It's just so upsetting to see that people are turning away at midlife and saying they've had enough because they don't want to be treated in the way that maybe you're treating them, or they don't want to be ignored, or they don't want to feel that they're not desirable anymore because we're not reaching out for them. So make it known. Make them know that you feel vulnerable. Allow yourself to do that, but also allow yourself to tell them that you're doing something about it and that you are finding a solution and that you are going to get better. And make that pact with yourself that you're going to invest time in yourself so that you really do get your symptoms under control and get back to feeling better than you can remember. And not only that, that you learn how to keep yourself in good shape in the longer term so that you can have a better quality existence. So I'm here for you. I just want you to know that, and that there's so much information. So please come to my next masterclass. This is not salesy. I'm not trying to sell you something. If you want to join my boot camp and come and have 6 weeks help, that's fine. But if you don't, there's plenty of self-help information. I've got books, and there's all sorts of information that I communicate through this platform. So please feel free to choose the way that you're going to get help, but make a pact with yourself to get the help, because it's so important that you do. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your family, and you certainly owe it to your partner and anyone else who knows you. But most important of all, you've got to love yourself. And at this life stage, there's no choice. You've either got to love yourself or ignore yourself, and you're either going to get better or go downhill. And it's your choice. So please choose to love yourself, and please choose to get help, and come and just get whatever help you can to get yourself back to feeling well again. So I hope that gives you a bit of hope, and I'm going to be asking a few of my patients to talk frankly about their experience and maybe record some footage for me so that you can share that too, because I just want you to know how other people have felt suicidal, they felt desperate, they felt on the point of divorce, they've just felt there was no hope, and then they got it all back. And I want you to hear from them how it felt to them. So please don't despair. Don't think this is the beginning of the end. Don't think it's the end of your relationship. Tomorrow's a whole new day, and you've got a chance to really get yourself back into the driving seat. So hopefully you'll do that. Promise me you will. Okay, bye for now.